Before COVID started, this is late 2019, before COVID started in 2020, the Daily Maverick, it's a newspaper from Gauteng, it's online now, runs a story with a big headline. Listen to what the headline says. Obesity crisis threatens the health system of South Africa. You didn't hear me? Obesity crisis threatens South Africa's health system. So here is the content of this article. It says, more than half of South Africans are now classified as overweight or obese. And this has serious implication in the health system of the country. Now let me drill down for you down a bit. At that time in the country we had 58.5 million South Africans. Let's write it up to the nearest zero, 59 million South Africans. So the research says we had just over half of South Africans. So over 30 million South Africans are either overweight or obese. And just before that, one organization was doing a study and they asked me a question, are South Africans healthy? And a number of things that were mentioned in the research, let me share them with you. And of course, this comes at the backdrop of what had happened in 2014. Now in 2014, the statistics revealed that 70% of South African women are overweight or obese. 40% of men in South Africa are overweight or obese. Now you see then what did the government do? They introduced a legislation that was forcing companies to reduce the amount of salt in food, the amount of trans fats in food, so that it can deal with this problem. Because let me tell you, it's actually an epidemic now. It's an epidemic that I want to talk about this morning. But listen to this though, despite these measures, fast food restaurants and sugary drinks continue to contribute to a number of things. What are those things? Please listen to me. Number one is high cholesterol. Let me talk to somebody who's looking at me so far and say, well, he's not talking to me now. I'm not overweight, I'm not obese. But just bundle up a bit and wait for me. So these things are contributing to the following: high cholesterol. Number two, high blood pressure, strokes, heart attacks, and cancer in the population of South Africa. And the recent studies are showing also that half of the young people in South Africa are also sickly. Some years ago, when this government, democratic government, came into place, they took away, amongst other things, physical education. And you know what that happened? When this was removed from our schools, the health and fitness of our school children declined rapidly. But what else? Mental health. Factors such as violence, disease, and urbanization have increased the prevalence of mental disorders in this country. As much as 30% of South Africans are likely to suffer from mental illness in their lifetime, generally caused by the following. Listen to me. Number one, work-related stress. Number two, disease. It's coming back again. Number three, poverty. But more important, listen to this one: abuse and sexual violence. In fact, depression is the most common mental illness in this country. And then you have societal influences that are contributing greatly to mental illness in this country. Amongst young people, it's drugs, such as cat, such as meth, such as tick, such as heroin, such as acid. All of these things have a contributing factor. And I've just painted a picture for you of South Africa. I'm not talking about Ghana. I'm not talking about the US or Europe. I'm talking about South Africa. Talking about Kuala, talking about Cape Town, talking about PE, talking about Gauteng, I'm talking about Eastern Cape, I'm talking about Western Cape, I'm talking about our communities. This is the picture that we have as we speak. Talking about Adventists. Talking about Adventists. Because most of all these things I have mentioned, they are in the church. They are in the church. I read a book from one of my favorite writers. The book is entitled Atomic Habits. I recommend. It's a great book. Now listen to what the author says in this book. He says, when all of us face setbacks at some point in life, but, listen to this but after but, what it says. He says, but in the long run, the quality of our lives often depends on the quality of our habits. I know you didn't hear me that one. Let's go on this one a bit. The quality of our lives largely depends on the quality of our habits. Let's go back to the picture of our country. And our country's picture, in as far as health is concerned, is dire. And Adventists are part of that picture. And the question is, how did we get here? And James Moore puts it well for me to say that the quality of our life is determined, is as a result of the quality of our habits. So in other words, in life we get what we repeatedly do. And I'm here today to say, as we end 2022, looking forward to 2023 and beyond, that time has come to confront the health message issue. I am here to say to all of us, we need to get face to face with the health message. Because Ellen White says, it is the right hand of the gospel. It goes together. In fact, it goes ahead of it. That is why when we do crusades and when we do it right, we start with health exposure. Because the health expo is not denominational. It catches, it's like a net out in the sea. It catches everyone. They just realize when they are there that we are going further than the health message. And I'm saying to all of us, my dear friends, it can't be that right in the beginning of creation, God spoke health. In the beginning of the Adventist Church, in the 18th